Hello, Berserker filmmakers, and welcome to Filmmaker Berserk. I am Queen Berserker, Krista Grotti-Saxon, and there is a whole story behind this brand and why I went berserk. And a lot of you I know can relate. This is one woman dismantling the film industry lie in public. So I want to welcome you to Neo Hollywood. Filmmaker Berserk is the operating system for creators building films in a streaming-first world. This exposes the lies of the old Hollywood model and teaches you guys, which is filmmakers, producers, and actors, how to protect your ownership, control delivery, and win in the modern film business. And we do that with clean ownership, clean delivery, and creator control. So this is about surviving distribution contracts, meeting the deliverable requirements, passing QC on your terms, bypassing the distributor fees, and it also avoids all the legal traps. So you learn to build the business, protect the business, and deliver clean. As we know, streaming has replaced the studio system. The movie business is a technical-based business first. And I think that is where the biggest disconnect is that filmmakers believe and want to believe, and understandably so, that it's about the creative aspect of the film and that your story is what sells it. Nothing could be further from the truth, because in order to get your story seen and shared, it must move once it reaches the streaming platform. And if you don't have the technical aspects mastered, then it's going to sit there like it's on a shelf. And that's where films often fail. But they often fail well before that when they don't have all the deliverable requirements for distribution. And the distributor is aware of the fact that they have gate-kept the deliverable information so hard, because having you completely rely on distribution for the ultimate goal is what keeps them in business. They're just a vendor, you guys, but they bank on knowing that you're going to be looking at the deliverable list after you've made the movie and signed a deal with them. And that is where you are going to financially tank. So what do we have here? This is a look inside the Berserker Film Business Mastery production kit. And this is lesson 5, why deliverables, not talent, decide power, plus your chain of title docs. And the chain of title documentation is imperative for the ownership of your film. Without it, you do not legally own the film, and nobody legally owns the film. These are where you meet not just predatory distributors, but rogue distributors, because those are the ones, if they accept your movie with no chain of title and no meeting of the deliverable requirements, no documentation, well, then whoever signs the distributor contract is just holding liability in the event of a lawsuit or something goes wrong. So you would be the one to get sued. And then they essentially own the movie because they can throw it away whenever they want and be done with it. And then you're going to have an impossible time redistributing it because it's already been out there through that and nobody owns it. You don't have the legal paperwork. So that's it. Berserker Film Business Mastery. And this is what I'm here to show you. Within this, I have attached a branded Berserker GPT. This is the safe that holds the distribution gate-kept business model. This acts as a support structure found within the Berserker Film Business Mastery production kit, which holds all the tangible paperwork. The value here lies in the capability of asking questions and having executive producer level studio grade conversations about the distribution business in the state of Neo Hollywood as it is now, not legacy Hollywood. Neo Hollywood, where technical infrastructure comes first. That determines everything in the success of your film. As I said before, this is very imperative to meeting the technical requirements needed to distribute your film, get it out to the right audience, legally and with full ownership on your end. So, we're going to look at this lesson here, and let's say you have a question and you're going through what you need for your production so that you can deliver clean. And you go through the chain of title, required documents, and you see a document that you want to just understand a bit more of what it is. So we'll scroll through and see, and we'll click on to the Attorney General Compliance Letter. Okay, so you think, all right, what is this all about? I'm not sure. How do I go about making sure that I handle this document appropriately as a berserker would? Right, which is embedded right into your lesson. And it will open another window. You might have to sign up for GPT, but it'll open another window. And there you will see the Studio Wolf Berserker GPT Pro Vault. And it's called Studio Wolf, the executive producer that never sleeps. The business of film without the Hollywood illusion. As you can see, the 4 cards, those are conversation starters. You can click on any card. The first card is Tell Me the Story Behind Nation's Fire. And this will share with you the entire experience of Nation's Fire from myself as the owner, executive producer, and the distribution hell, post-production hell, all the things that awakened the berserker in me. And this is no joke, you guys. So I've had to literally turn my pain into IP. And you are now doing the same. Welcome, berserker. Okay, so now I'm going to ask it, what is the Attorney General Compliance Letter in the chain of title for my film? And the GPT responds, welcome, berserker. Skull, you've entered Studio Wolf, the war table of independent film business. Here, we don't chase Hollywood illusions. We build ownership, leverage, and back-end equity. Great question, berserker. This is an executive level deliverables issue. The Attorney General Compliance Letter inside your chain of title is not creative paperwork. It is legal proof that your production complied with state securities laws when raising investor money. And if you raise capital improperly, your distribution deal can collapse overnight. So now it's going to give you a breakdown of exactly what it is. It's a written confirmation from a licensed attorney stating your production complied with state securities regulations, federal SEC exemptions, proper investor disclosures, and proper offering documents. It confirms the money raised for the film was raised legally. Distributors require this because they do not want to have investor lawsuits, securities violations attached to the film, and any claims that ownership is disputed. If one investor says, I was promised profits that never came, your distributor freezes revenue. And trust me, they would love to freeze revenue. Any excuse they can find to do so, they would. But most filmmakers don't even have their chain of title together. Or if you're missing just one document, just one link in the chain, your entire film collapses completely. And that's the truth. So the reason that it is in the chain of title, because chain of title proves you own the screenplay, you secured life rights, you cleared music, you legally raised the money used to make the film. Money that enters illegally equals ownership risk. Ownership risk equals no insurance. No insurance equals no distributor. Inside the lesson of the Berserker Film Business Mastery, we break down how chain of title cannot be waived and must include full documentation right down to copyright receipts. It's not optional paperwork, that's survival. And why this matters more than you think. So here's the silent killer most filmmakers miss. And trust me, there's many silent killers in delivery of independent film. However, in this case, if you raised funds from friends, aviation colleagues, as in my case, doctors, family, private investors, and you did not file proper exemption paperwork, provide PPM disclosures, document accredited status, and structure membership units correctly, you have a securities exposure problem. And distribution knows it. That's why they ask for the letter. They are protecting themselves, not you. And remember that throughout. They are protecting themselves, not you. So when you go to a rogue distributor and you sign an agreement, but you don't turn in any chain of title, or you don't meet the deliverable requirements for said streaming platforms or whatever it is, just know they're taking your movie and you or whoever signs the contract is just the person accepting complete liability. Yeah, you might get a couple $100 here and there, up to 2,000 maybe, I don't know, but that's about as far as it's going to go for you, I promise. So after that, executive strategy, the best outcome position. If you are raising money or planning to, then it tells you exactly what you need to do. So we had a whole conversation and going down the rabbit hole of the Attorney General compliance letter. And from there, it then asked me, do you want to know if you legally need one based on how you raised the money, or should we audit your current chain of title checklist like a distributor would? So what I said, yeah, my mom put up the budget and she took out a second mortgage on her home. Easy peasy. Right? Just like Esposito did for her movie Fresh Kills. So then Berserker GPT responds and it says, you just said something very serious, Berserker. Your mother took out a second mortgage to fund your film. That is not indie hustle. That is securities exposure risk. Let's break this down properly. There is a massive legal distinction between personal self-financing versus raising investor capital, even from family. And distributors don't care that it's your mom. They care about liability. So the executive analysis, did you trigger securities law? Well, ask yourself, did your mother invest expecting profit? Did you issue her membership units? Did you promise a return? Is she listed as an investor? Is there a written agreement? If she loaned you the money, that's debt. Invested expecting profit participation, that's securities. Even one investor can trigger securities rules, even if it's your mom. So I decided to ask, okay, it was just a handshake promise. I mean, it's my mom. She will tolerate anything and still love me. It doesn't matter. So let's see what it says with that, because it's true for most people. Mom. Call mom. Okay, now Berserker's getting serious with you now. Okay? Because the executive reality check is, the issue is not whether your mom loves you. The issue is whether there is documented ownership, there is defined recoupment, there is clarity if the film succeeds, there is clarity if the film fails, there is clarity if something happens to you, and there is clarity if something happens to her. Handshake promises don't survive death, divorce, estate disputes, probate, IRS audits, distribution audits. Love does not override paperwork. Paperwork protects love. And this is the bottom line in anything you do that has to deal with money and people's time. It is a business exchange, and you have to treat it as such. And it's important to keep emotions out of things, because obviously that's where things get really messy, and it will destroy and ruin relationships. It potentially, even with your mom, she loses her house and she's on the street, what are you going to do? And because that's what happened to Esposito with her movie Fresh Kills, which is why I brought that up. And I'm also got an episode about that as well. She lost her frickin' home because she believed in her movie, and that's what happened. Okay? So, and that's common because most movies fail because people do not use the proper channels to understand distribution, and it's not even available to you until now. With the Berserker Film Business Mastery production kit. And if you get it or not, I don't really care. That's up to you. It's available to Berserkers, and it's there. 3 years of continuous work every single day for 3 years straight. Over $2 million invested. 25 years in the film industry. Front and back end of movies, and complete owner with all access pass to the distributor business models, to Oscar-winning producing team business model, to the studio delivery system. So it's all in here in the Berserker Film Business Mastery, and that's why I created it. And yes, I'm going to promote it because I put so much work into this, and I work with the best, I shadowed the best, and I am providing you with the best because you deserve it. And I wish that I had this before. We will see you at filmmakerberserk.com. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you watched the video. Thank you.